Hey everyone, and welcome back to the channel. If you love traveling but hate how expensive flights can be, you've come to the right place. Today I'm going to spill all my secrets on how to find seriously cheap flight tickets. We're talking about strategies that will save you hundreds, maybe even thousands of dollars on your next trip. So grab a notebook and let's dive into the world of affordable travel. Trust me, by the end of this video, you'll be a flight booking ninja. First things first, let's talk about the golden rule of booking cheap flights. Be flexible. This is probably the single most important factor. If you can be flexible with your travel dates, you're already ahead of the game. Most people travel on weekends, so flights on Fridays and Sundays are almost always more expensive. Try flying on a Tuesday, Wednesday, or Saturday. These are typically the cheapest days of the week to fly. Use flight search engines that have a flexible date feature. Google Flights, for example, has a fantastic calendar view that shows you prices for the entire month. You can instantly see which days are green, meaning cheaper, and which are red, meaning more expensive. Sometimes shifting your trip by just 1 or 2 days can cut your flight cost in half. It's that simple. And it's not just about the day of the week. Being flexible with the time of day can also save you money. Those super early morning flights or late night readies are often less popular and therefore much cheaper. Next up, let's talk about timing your booking. There's a lot of debate about the perfect time to book a flight. The old myth of booking on a Tuesday at midnight is just that, a myth. The reality is, airline prices are dynamic and change constantly based on demand. However, there is a sweet spot. For domestic flights, you generally want to book between 1 to 3 months in advance. For international flights, aim for 2 to 8 months out. Booking too early means you might miss out on future sales, and booking too late, well, that's when prices skyrocket as the plane fills up. Think of it as a bell curve. Prices start high, dip down into that sweet spot, and then climb steeply as the departure date approaches. Don't fall into the last-minute trap unless you have no other choice. Procrastination is the enemy of cheap travel. Now, let's get into the tools of the trade. You should never, ever book a flight without comparing prices on multiple websites. My go-to search engines are Google Flights, Skyscanner, Momondo, and Kayak. I recommend starting your search on all of them. Why? Because they all have slightly different features and sometimes pull data from different sources. Skyscanner is great because it can search smaller budget airlines that other major search engines might miss. Momondo often finds killer deals by combining flights from different airlines into one itinerary, something called a hacker fare. Google Flights is incredibly fast and has that amazing calendar view I mentioned earlier. Don't just stick to one. Use them all to your advantage. Treat it like a treasure hunt. The treasure is a cheap flight, and these sites are your maps. Here's a ninja trick that many people overlook. Go incognito. Have you ever searched for a flight, came back a few hours later, and found the price had gone up? It's not your imagination. Some airline and booking websites use cookies to track your searches. They see you reinterested in a particular route and might raise the price to create a sense of urgency, pressuring you to book before it gets even more expensive. To combat this, always search for flights in a private or incognito browsing window. This clears your cookies and search history each time you open a new window, so the websites treat you like a brand new visitor every time. It's a small step that can make a big difference and prevent you from being targeted with artificially inflated prices. Let's talk about location. Just like being flexible with dates, being flexible with your destination airport can unlock massive savings. If you're flying to a major city like London or New York, check the prices for all the airports in the area. Flying into Gatwick or Stansted instead of Heathrow, or Newark instead of JFK, can often be significantly cheaper. Most search engines have an option to search for nearby airports. Tick that box. The extra travel time from a secondary airport to the city center is often well worth the money you'll save. This also applies to your departure airport. If you live somewhere that's within driving distance of a couple of different airports, check the prices from all of them. A 2-hour drive could literally save you hundreds of dollars, especially if one of those airports is a major hub for a budget airline. Speaking of budget airlines, don't be afraid to fly them. Airlines like Ryanair, Spirit, EasyJet, and Eurasia get a bad rap sometimes, but they are fantastic for short-haul flights and can save you a fortune. The key is to understand their model. Their base fares are incredibly low, but they charge for everything else. Checked bags, seat selection, snacks, even printing your boarding pass at the airport. So, you have to play their game, pack light, bring your own snacks, and always check in online and print your boarding pass at home. If you can travel with just a carry-on and don't mind where you sit, you can take advantage of those rock-bottom prices. Just be sure to read the fine print about baggage allowances very carefully to avoid any surprise fees at the airport. Here's another powerful strategy: hidden city ticketing. This one is a bit more advanced, but it's brilliant. Let's say you want to fly from New York to Chicago. You might find that a flight from New York to San Francisco with a layover in Chicago is actually cheaper than a direct flight to Chicago with hidden city ticketing. You book the cheaper flight to San Francisco but simply get off the plane during your layover in Chicago and walk out of the airport. The rest of your ticket to San Francisco is automatically cancelled. A great website for finding these opportunities is Skbagged. Now, there are a few important rules here. This only works for one-way flights. If you skip a leg on a round-trip ticket, the airline will cancel your entire remaining itinerary. Also, you cannot check any bags because your luggage will be checked through to the final destination, in this case, San Francisco. You must travel with carry-on only. It's a clever trick, but you have to use it wisely. Don't forget about setting up price alerts. This is a feature offered by almost all major flight search engines. If you have a specific route and dates in mind, but you're not ready to book just yet, set up an alert. The website will then email you whenever the price for your flight goes up or down. Another tip is to consider booking one-way tickets instead of a round trip. We're often conditioned to think that a round-trip ticket is always the cheapest option, but that's not always true anymore. Sometimes booking two separate one-way tickets, even on different airlines, can be cheaper. For example, you might fly out on United and fly back on Spirit. This takes a little more research, but it gives you the flexibility to mix and match the cheapest possible flights for both your departure and your return. Many search engines like Kayak will automatically do this for you if it's the cheaper option, but it's always worth checking manually as well. And finally, my last tip is to leverage points and miles. This is a whole topic in itself, but it's the ultimate way to fly for cheap, or even for free. If you're not already signed up for airline loyalty programs, do it now. They're free to join. Every time you fly, you'll earn miles. You can also earn a massive amount of points through travel credit card sign-up bonuses. Many cards offer enough bonus points after meeting a minimum spending requirement to cover one or even two round-trip international flights. It's a long-term game, but if you travel frequently, it is absolutely the most rewarding strategy. It takes some learning, but the payoff is enormous. So, to recap, be flexible with your dates and airports book within the suite. Spot compare prices on multiple search engines, use incognito mode, embrace budget airlines, try hidden city ticketing for one-way setup price alerts, check one-way fares and get into the points and miles game. Phew, that was a lot of information. But I promise, if you start using even a few of these strategies, you're going to see a huge drop in the price of your flights. Travel doesn't have to break the bank. It's all about being a smart and savvy traveler. What are your best tips for finding cheap flights? Let me know in the comments below. I love learning new tricks from you all. If you found this video helpful, please give it a big thumbs up, and don't forget to subscribe and hit that notification bell so you don't miss out on more travel tips and adventures. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Happy travels!